Almost 7 o'clock at night. She's still going. Time for night. Good night. Good night, Cece. Love you. Good night, Cece.
Stop. We'll give a new one. I do this. I think it's a new turtle.
This is Turtle's mommy.
Can I have it?
No, it's Cece's Turtle's mommy. We gotta find you your monkey mommy.
No.
Do you want the turtle mommy?
Well, can I have the big monkey?
Yeah, we have to find a big monkey. You don't like that turtle?
I want that turtle. I want that turtle. Yes. Can I have it? Yay. I think it's the turtle. Yay, I love the turtle.
She doesn't realize the other one's.
I want one.
Um,
Mom, is this yours?
it is.
I like it. I love it. I want it.
Pants up.
Stuffy!
It's not gonna work, baby.
Too late.
Oh yeah?
Cece, get on daddy.
Alright, come on, Cece. No? No?
Let's do push-ups.
Oh.
Let's do push-ups.
So you getting in
Coral,
front?
you getting in front?
You getting in front?
We're doing push-ups. Come here, doing push-ups.
You just do supervising? You good?
Alright.
Cool.
No purse, Cece.
No
Hold on to
purse.
daddy.
Don't do
This
it.
is what Thrive Duo does to you. Cece's
Oh my gosh.
Thrive Duo with Cece. Sorry guys for the loud screaming. Your mom's on, Christina. Hi, Mama.
Now you're down.
They want to do that again. Coral, say hi to your grandma.
Say hi, Grandma. Say hi, Grandma.
Say hi.
Say hi.
You guys ready? Yeah? Okay.
Bella, Cece, say hi, Nana, Papa, and Mimi and Papa. Okay, Daddy's not going to do it if you keep falling off. Well, look in the camera. Right here, look here.
Hey, Papa.
He's not on there. We're watching a video. You silly goose. You guys,
Was that
see?
Cece?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Guys, if you
No, I
fall
did.
off, we're not going to do it anymore, okay?
Yeah, you good?
Millions watched the Facebook videos, the smiling introductions, the product pitches, the cheerful updates filmed in kitchens, living rooms, and parking lots. To the outside world, Shanann Watts looked confident, driven, and endlessly positive. Her voice carried energy. Her posture projected control. And for years, viewers believed they were seeing the full story. But social media is a stage, and the camera only records what it's pointed at. Behind the lens, Shanann was performing a role she believed in deeply, the image of a woman building a future, holding her family together, and refusing to let cracks show. Friends later said those videos weren't fake, but they weren't complete either. Every clip was a moment carefully chosen, filmed during strength, not during fear. And that distinction would become painfully important after everything fell apart. At the time, no one questioned the smiles. Engagement meant success. Comments meant support. Likes meant validation. Shanann's Facebook presence grew. And so did the illusion that everything inside the Watts home was stable, even thriving. Viewers thought they knew her because they saw her almost every day. But knowing someone online is not the same as knowing what happens when the camera shuts off. What no one noticed back then was how often Shanann used Facebook not just to sell products but to reassure herself. The videos weren't only for an audience, they were affirmations. Proof that she was still standing, still pushing forward, still believing things could be fixed if she worked hard enough. In hindsight, investigators and analysts would re-watch those same clips frame by frame, not for what was said, but for what was missing. The pauses, the forced brightness, the way stress hid behind productivity. The warning signs weren't loud, they were subtle, and they blended perfectly into the noise of social media culture. This chapter isn't about blaming Shanann, it's about understanding how visibility can hide vulnerability, and how an entire audience can watch someone closely and still miss the truth. If this story already has you thinking differently, like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. What comes next changes everything. As Shanann's Facebook videos continued, a pattern emerged, one that few recognized at the time. Nearly every post revolved around structure. Schedules, goals, routines, and plans. Morning motivation, nighttime reflections, lists of what needed to be done next. To viewers, it looked like ambition. To those who knew her well, it was something deeper. Control as survival. Shanann lived in a constant state of forward motion. If she stopped, even briefly, the silence became dangerous. Financial pressure was mounting. Her marriage was straining. Her pregnancy brought both hope and fear. Yet none of that made it into the videos directly. Instead, she doubled down on positivity, productivity, and public confidence. The more unstable things felt behind closed doors, the more polished her online presence became. What most people didn't understand is that Shanann believed deeply in fixing problems through effort. If something was breaking, she worked harder. If someone pulled away, she leaned in. If fear crept in, she talked louder, smiled brighter, and posted more often. Facebook wasn't denial, it was determination. But control only works when everyone is playing by the same rules. Chris Watts appeared in many of those videos, quiet, agreeable, almost background-like. Viewers interpreted his silence as shyness or support. Shanann often spoke for both of them, filling the space with optimism. What no one saw was that while Shanann was fighting to hold the family together, Chris had already emotionally checked out. The imbalance was invisible online. Shanann believed communication solved everything. Chris avoided conflict by retreating inward. That disconnect created a dangerous dynamic. One partner pushing for clarity, the other hiding behind passivity. And passivity, when mixed with resentment, can become something far darker. In hindsight, Shanann's videos weren't signs of arrogance or control. They were evidence of someone trying desperately to keep the ground from collapsing beneath her feet. She didn't know how close she was to the edge, and she didn't know the man sitting beside her on camera was no longer the person she thought he was. The illusion held until it didn't. By the summer of 2018, the cracks in the Watts marriage had grown wider, but they remained invisible to most viewers. Shanann's Facebook videos still showed energy, laughter, and confidence, yet something subtle had changed. Her tone carried urgency. Her smiles didn't linger as long. And between the cheerful updates, there were moments of vulnerability that slipped through unnoticed. Shanann began speaking more openly about stress, exhaustion, and feeling overwhelmed. She framed it as honesty, but it was also a signal. She was reaching out, searching for reassurance from friends, from family, and most importantly, from her husband. Facebook became a place where she could speak when conversations at home felt one-sided or empty. Chris, meanwhile, was growing quieter. In the videos, his presence felt distant. He nodded, he agreed, he smiled when prompted, but there was no warmth behind it. What viewers interpreted as calm was actually emotional withdrawal. Chris had learned that silence kept him out of arguments. He believed that if he didn't engage, problems would simply pass. Instead, they piled up. Behind the scenes, Shanann sensed the shift. She asked questions. She pushed for conversations. She tried to fix what she could feel slipping away, but the more she pressed, the more Chris retreated. His emotional absence became a wall she couldn't break through, no matter how hard she tried. This is the part no one saw. Shanann wasn't controlling. She was responding to abandonment. When one partner disappears emotionally, the other often becomes louder, more expressive, more desperate to reconnect. That desperation played out publicly, but the cause remained hidden. Chris's silence wasn't harmless. It allowed resentment to grow unchecked. While Shanann fought to save her family, Chris was already living a separate life in his mind, one where responsibilities felt like chains and escape felt justified. The Facebook videos captured the smiles. They recorded the optimism. But they couldn't record what wasn't there: honest communication, emotional reciprocity, and mutual commitment. And when silence replaces truth, tragedy doesn't announce itself. It waits. If you're starting to see these videos in a new light, like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. In the next chapter, we uncover the warning signs that were hiding in plain sight. As Shanann's Facebook videos continued, patterns began to emerge. Patterns that only seem obvious in hindsight. To viewers at the time, these moments looked ordinary, even relatable. But layered together, they formed a quiet trail of warning signs that went unnoticed. One of the clearest signals was inconsistency. Shanann spoke often about rebuilding her marriage, about working through things, about hope. Yet Chris's behavior never aligned with those words. He avoided eye contact. His responses were short, rehearsed, and emotionally flat. When Shanann praised him or expressed affection on camera, his reactions felt delayed, almost forced. This wasn't shyness, it was detachment. Another overlooked sign was isolation. Shanann leaned heavily on her online community. She shared details most people would keep private: arguments, fears, and uncertainty. This wasn't oversharing for attention. It was a woman compensating for a lack of emotional safety at home. When someone turns outward for support, it's often because inward support no longer exists. Then there was the pressure of appearances. Shanann believed in positivity, in pushing forward, in showing strength even when struggling. Her videos reflected that belief. She wanted the world to see progress, healing, and unity, but maintaining that image required effort that masked the reality growing behind closed doors. Chris benefited from that mask. The public narrative protected him. Friends and viewers saw a quiet, patient husband. No one questioned his silence because Shanann filled the space with words. And in that imbalance, responsibility blurred. When one person speaks for the relationship, the other can hide within it. What makes these warning signs so chilling is how normal they seemed. No shouting, no visible conflict, just distance, avoidance, and emotional absence. These are the kinds of signs people miss because they don't look dangerous. But danger doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it hides in routine. Sometimes it smiles for the camera. Shanann sensed something was wrong, even if she couldn't name it. She kept trying. Through love, through communication, through hope. What she didn't know was that Chris had already checked out emotionally long before anyone realized. In the final weeks before everything ended, Shanann's Facebook videos took on a different energy, one that many only recognized after it was too late. She was still smiling, still speaking with determination. But beneath the surface, there was urgency. Her words moved faster, her expressions shifted quickly, and her confidence seemed to be fighting something unseen. Shanann talked openly about uncertainty, about feeling disconnected, about needing reassurance. She framed it as transparency, telling her audience that relationships go through phases and that effort matters. What viewers didn't realize was that these weren't general reflections, they were responses to real-time fear. Fear that her marriage was slipping beyond her control.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Ooh, ooh. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Ooh, ooh. Huh? Gotta see picture. Say cheese. Aw, say here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Ooh, ooh. Alright, she's done.
Honey.
What's that tonight? You comfortable?